What's up, Goofy Geekers?
How are you? How was your week?
I'm good. I got through my week. You?
Same.
I just got through it. This heat's killing me. Oof. I don't know where everybody lives, but
I'm like a lizard. I soak this shit right up.
you love this, huh?
Yeah.
I can't stand the humidity.
Well, I'm cold like 90% of the year, so.
Nope. I do not want to live on the sun. This has been like I've been breathing pure water.
So you're always hydrated. You're fine.
Like, I have not been a big fan of this at all. I've been getting through it, but not a fan. The other thing is I feel like I'm tired. Like the second I go into AC, it's like my whole body goes, oh, we've been fighting the whole time. Then it's like, no, we got to do stuff. And I'm about to fall asleep.
Oh, not me. I'm like shivering. Not right now, but.
Yeah, no, but. Nope.
Give me like 5 minutes. I will be pretty cold.
With the 80% humidity, I'm all set. Nope.
I like it.
All right, so our movie today. Oh, well, now we're supposed to do an 80 again, but because of little difficulties, and that this movie is unfortunately one of my favorites. Again, it's another light movie. I like light movies. If you notice, there's a lot of
You don't have to think. You already know what's going to happen.
Like
the Hallmark is for you, huh?
No, Hallmark is too predictable. Like I like ones that you kind of go, oh, I would never no way I would never do this, or I would do this, or or you know what I also like? I like movies that I feel are driving the same road as I would take if I'm the lead person or what have you. Like I like ones that go, oh yeah, I do this. Yep, that's me. I that's me. So the movie that we I decided, you get the next one, is the Replacements. Now it is a 2000 movie that was released.
This is your standard 2000 movie.
It is.
Like everything is spot on for a 2000s movie.
Right. But you know, the nice thing about this is after you watch an 80s and then you watch a 2000, see what like a huge gap that is? Like when we're at a 2-hour movie, not an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There is a storyline that goes the whole thing. There's never a moment where you're going, what?
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's so drastically different than that mindless. Like you just said, it was mindless, but in reality, it takes you on that ride. Where a police academy doesn't. If you go back to the 80s, it's more of a funny scenes more than it is.
I mean, there's a story, but it's like a loose story.
Yeah, it's a loose story. Where this one is a story.
Yeah.
Like it starts off with A and you end with Z at the end. So I just need to ask right away.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Okay. No.
I didn't like it because it's just like every football movie is the same movie for me.
Right.
So it's just like I've seen this before. I could tell you what's gonna happen.
Right.
So it wasn't like
I
didn't laugh once.
You didn't laugh once?
No.
Even with the car? I died with the car.
No.
Oh my God, I died with the car.
Sorry,
No. Because it reminded me of the police academy, of the whole same thing with the Hightower situation.
Yeah.
Except that we were like kind of reversed. It was like the same. It was
the
nice.
same joke.
It was the same joke, but that's what movies are. If you watch enough movies, there's the same joke.
Yeah, and I understand that, and the stories are like all the same in every movie, but like.
Of course, yes. All right. This isn't.
I probably didn't laugh because I knew I didn't like the movie.
Right.
So it's just like sitting there for 2 hours watching this, trying to get through it.
This was a movie for me that made me go back to what I like. See, if you went back, you say it's a typical 2000. I didn't feel like it was a typical 2000. I felt like it was one of those last of a dying breed where it kind of went back to, we're going to put these 10 men or 10 people in these crazy situations, and how are they going to deal with them? And then some of them were really funny. Was this as funny as Police Academy? No.
Oh, God, no.
God knows. It's not. Because it's not outrageous. But for a 2000 movie, I think what the trick is now, if you watch a movie like this Now they could not make it. It'd be a 2 hour and a half, and you'd be like,
yeah,
because it's the same joke that would kind of go again. I don't know why. I think this one has, for me, a positive message in it.
Well, yeah.
And that kind of, at the end of the day, makes it kind of like, not that it's a sports movie, it's a positive message. Because, I think it's different for the fact is when I played sports, I felt like I was a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Like you weren't the top tier person.
Yeah.
You were the next ones in. All right, so what happens is, in the movie, is that basically the NFL goes on strike.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of canceling the year like they normally do, they had like college players who didn't make it, or other players
like
that retired to come back, and
including coaches.
Yeah, and I loved the coach in it. See, that's
I liked
him.
him.
I loved his attitude. Like,
I shouldn't say I hated the movie, because I don't. But it was just like, it didn't do anything for me. Like I wouldn't watch again. Like the characters, I really liked all the characters.
Right.
But it was just like, I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah. No, it's so. First of all, Jesse,
I could have fallen asleep during it, and I could tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah, it kind of had that little. It does have that.
Yeah.
But you know what? The nice thing, again, was if you compared it, how different 1980.
Well, yes.
To this, and this is a comedy. This was considered one of the big comedies at the time.
Mm-hmm.
There are some spots, but see, I think there's just like, for me, there's gems in this.
Yeah.
So you watch it for the gems. So, first of all, the fact that, see, for me, Keanu Reeves is always Bill and Ted to me. Because that's how I watched Bill and Ted at the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. When you said, what is his name? Keanu Reeves?
Keanu.
Like, who the fuck is that?
You don't know who he is? He does The Matrix. He does...
I've seen it.
Oh, my God. Okay. He does a lot of love things, too. You don't really watch movies, though. I mean, I
do.
feel like you're Shannon when she's like, I don't like pizza. And then she's like, well, I eat some pizza. I'm like, but you don't like pizza. So at the end of the day, when we order pizza...
No, I do like movies.
Yeah.
Just
How do you
not
not know
one.
who he is? He was in John Wick. Oh, my God. John Wick.
I knew the guy from Drumline. What was his name? Franklin in the...
Oh, yes. Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I've seen Drumline once. That's Kelsey's like freaking favorite movie.
So you should know. I mean, the only person I don't think you would know would be, I thought, like Gene Hackman. You would know who Gene Hackman.
I didn't know who anyone else was.
Gene Hackman's been in a billion movies, like not just.
I didn't recognize anyone besides the Drumline guy.
And
I thought he was someone else.
You know
until
who
I
the
looked him
Daniel
up.
Bateman is? He plays Happy in Iron Man. Spider-Man, he's Happy.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who says, "Give me the ball. I get the ball. I get the ball."
Got it.
And then obviously you know who Nigel was. He was oh my, see, this is how bad he was
Click on it.
No, he's Harry. He's in Harry Potter. He plays
Okay.
What's his
for the
name's
record,
father?
Describe him.
No, it's the cute weird blonde.
The girl?
Love Strange.
Oh.
He's the one who tells Harry about the whole the sword, the ring. No, what is it? The wand, the triangle, and the circle. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Deathly Hallows. That's exactly it. Wow, that was hard for me to say. Okay, so you know who Orlando Jones was. You don't know who Brian Murphy was, the deaf guy? He's the guy from The Office. I
didn't watch The Office.
Oh, that's right there.
That hurt to watch the first episode.
Oh my God!
I couldn't put myself through it.
Oh my gosh!
It made me so uncomfortable to watch that.
And
I
guess you don't know who John Madden was, and Pat Summerall. Oh my God! So many big names in this. That was out. It's like I don't even know how you don't know who everybody was. And that's actually what made it kind of good for me was that everyone.
Who played Annabelle?
That's the only one I didn't know. Is Brooke Langton.
What is she in?
She's probably in tons of things that I don't know.
Okay.
The Net, Primal, Friday Lights, Swingers, Kiss the Bride, and Benchwarmers.
That's probably right.
I haven't
know
seen
her from.
Benchwarmers.
You haven't seen Benchwarmers? No. All right, we're watching that next time. It's a good movie. That's a funny one.
Okay. I don't know. It's, for me, for that situation, I felt like that crew came out with too many movies, and I always felt like when they came out with too many movies, it's never too good.
No.
Just like same thing with Happy Gilmore. Like Happy Gilmore was amazing. Madison was amazing, and then we started going down a little bit. Then we had Waterboy. Then we started going down a little bit. And felt like it was all coming out once.
Yeah.
Because they start like booming them all out, and then like the jokes start to kind of get watered down.
I think you'd like Benchwarmers though. I think it's good though.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm
just letting you know.
Okay.
Kelsey will watch that one with me because she likes that one.
So I should be scared because both of you.
Maybe Kelsey would be part of it. Doubt it, but she might.
So they can't. They get these replacements, and all these replacement guys have all their cops, their jail. They've just been at the bottom. They all have regular jobs.
This is a joke of a team.
Yes, it is. But everybody else has a joke of a team.
Yeah. Because
it's all replacements.
Yeah.
And I think the nice part about this one is that, for me, is that they go from being a joke to actually being something to be respected.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think, as a sports person, that you kind of sit back and go, that's what we all want. Mm-hmm. We all want our day in the sun. We all want that moment. And they all end up getting it. But they don't make it that fast. They go through some definitely growing pains, which I don't know how. I don't know how. Go ahead. I want to read. I want to go with your notes. I want to follow where you go because I know.
So we meet all those players or whatever, and then, okay, I do have to say I like the, screw you cockroach, have to find your dick first. That was funny. I did laugh at that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, gotta write that one down. But I thought it was funny that even the cheerleaders quit.
Yeah.
And, so the Annabelle is the captain.
Right.
And she's auditioning all these girls. And every one of them is a hot mess. Right. And then she's, cleaning up. And these two girls come over. And she was like, oh, you guys know how to dance. And they're like, yeah, we do. And then, we know how to lap dance.
I know. You know how to pole dance.
Right.
And then she's just like,
can you bring your friends?
And I think that's, I don't know. This also reminds me, I know I'm going to throw out personal stuff. If you guys have a different opinion, it's fine with me. It reminded me of being those kids. In Portsmouth, we used to do this. I don't think they did it in your day. I might have. But in my day, the people in the neighborhood used to have this big football game on the field. But it would just be local kids, from the neighborhood. And then we would play, and we all had these moments of being high school jocks, even though none of us were high school jocks. We're playing real football. We're tackling with no pads, no helmets, no nothing. Yeah. Beating the crap out of each other practically. But it was our moment to kind of shine. And this movie always reminded me of that.
I think my generation did rugby like that. I don't think they did football. They did rugby, which is pretty much the same thing.
We all met up. It was only one time I think, because we knew we weren't allowed to. Yeah. But it kind of felt like, because we never did it, they never looked for us. And so it was that one day that we would have, and I don't remember what day it was, because I remember it was always a Monday we would have off. And then we would literally, all meet up, and it was everybody played. it didn't matter. You were sick. You were dying. You showed up. If it rained, you played when it rained. Like, it was just one of those things. And sometimes football players would come and play. Like, they would know about it, and then they would come, and then it was like our day to kind of shine or get destroyed. Yeah. Which many a times, like, I remember coming home one time with my shorts all ripped because someone hit me and then, like, grabbed my pocket and, like, ripped. And I'm like, it was vicious.
Jeez.
I know. It was coming home with bloody lips and black eye. I mean, because we used to, like, hit each other like there was no, like, we didn't care.
I don't think we had that. No. I think our parents were too,
yeah.
We were too sheltered for that.
Not me, man. I remember coming home, my mom's like, what happened to your shorts? Nothing.
Mind your business. It is my business. I paid for them.
Go ahead. I want you to, I kind of following your notes. You kind of lead the way. The coach is the greatest, though. Yeah. Because the coach says, I don't want to come back unless it's this. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're there. Like, the coach is like, I'm not.
But that's in the beginning.
Right, that's the very beginning. Yeah, I'm not going to come back until this is. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, it will be exactly the way we want. Which at the end, he gets screwed over. Yeah. And I don't know if this is Gene Hackman's last movie, but it's near the end of his career. And he does a lot of other sports ones. But you know what I like about the sports one for him? He always makes movies that's not, it's about sports, but it's not really about sports. Mm-hmm. Like, this one's really not about sports. Yeah. It's about
the message.
The message about these guys having their one moment. Yeah. And I don't know why, but I'm that sucker for that one moment. Mm-hmm. Like you do remember the Little Giants? No, the football. It was like, it's at one time. They can beat you 9 out of the 10 times, but you won that one time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he lands up making a team. Now, he's very particular about who he wants on this team. Mm-hmm.
And the assistant coach is like, you really want this guy? You really want this guy? You really? I thought you said this guy was muscles. And he's like, oh, yeah, he is. He falls down. And
do you love that Japanese guy with
the sumo guy? That's what I call him because I don't know what his name is.
It's Jumbo, isn't it? Jumbo?
I don't know. I just call him Sumo. Yeah,
Jumbo. Oh. Jumbo from... I can't even say it. I'm going to give it to you like you'll know it.
Jumbo... Fumiko?
Oh my God, he just kept putting A. I was getting sick when he was putting the A. He's just putting the A.
That's later on. We'll get to that part.
Oh gosh.
And then the deaf guy, he's like, oh my God, how'd you learn to throw like that? And he's like, my dad taught me how to do it. And he's like, and walks away.
And goes to the coach is like, yeah.
You have a deaf guy doing that? How's he going to know when to go?
He'll never be offsides. Right. Because he'll never jump until he's like, you're like, well, that makes sense. Yeah. And the best was when I watched it back again. I'm like, oh my God, that guy's from The Office. That guy's from this. That guy's from this. And like, I was really, it's nice when you forget who they are. Mm-hmm. And then you've seen them in tons of other things. Like, I don't know how you didn't know he was Happy.
I don't know.
I love that. That guy's so... And he's from Friends, too. He's, what's his name's boyfriend? The rich one. From Friends. I know you watch Friends.
I know, but... Happy,
which is John,
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher his name. Favio's. He's the... In Friends, he plays, Monica's rich boyfriend. Remember, he had that check? And he was he was weightlift. That's him.
See, like I
no.
I either like oh my God, where's that person from? Or it's like I've never seen this person a day in my life. Even you know?
Okay. Like
I understand.
It was like, okay, well, if you didn't recognize him from Friends, wouldn't you have recognized him from this movie and go, wait a minute, isn't that the guy from Friends?
No. No.
Isn't that the guy from Spider-Man?
No, because you know what happens is I think everyone's from a certain thing, and I look him up, I'm like, nope. Wrong guy. So I think I just like stopped associating.
It's just like, wow, they have so many good actors.
The guy who's in Drumline,
Yeah.
I thought he was somebody else, and I'm looking up everything. I'm like, oh, I've never seen all these movies, and then I saw like Drumline like behind the scenes. So I'm like, oh no, he is from Drumline. I have seen that. Like I like must have skipped over that one, but like I'm like, oh, I thought this guy was someone else.
Okay.
I got one guy out of here.
I know. Out of the 30 guys that
all right, screw you, cockroach.
All right, so
So then, oh my God, the guy who freaking tackles anyone in red.
Oh, that's Happy. That's John Fabio. Yeah, that's Daniel
No, it's
Bateman.
not.
Yeah, it is. That's him. That's the guy who loses his temper. That's the one who breaks his nose during the movie. That's the one who says, red is bad, remember? Red is bad. He's like, oh yeah, and he's like all super hyped. And that's the one where he says, give me the ball. I got you the ball. Like, there's that I love that moment.
You got me the ball.
Yeah, and then
That's how I talk to the kids.
The best moment of that whole part is when they're done and they're just staying there like, you can go now. Oh yeah, okay. Like it's like it was so here, and then it was like they couldn't carry it all there. And it was just like I felt like the guy just kept running, like the
filming,
filming, and they were like,
"That's it, cut,
cut." G's like,
cut.
I just pictured the coach looking at him like,
improv,
like, you can go now. And then he's like, yeah, I'll go. Like I don't know what else to do because I just screamed at you for a good.
Forgot my line.
Doesn't it feel like that whole awkward, like, you got me the ball, I got you the ball, you got me the ball. Like, it was like this whole dog and trainer moment. Then it's like, yeah, I got you the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found that funny. Go ahead.
So then they start playing. The first game comes, you know. And they don't even make it into a play, and this guy comes tackling his team member. Like the quarterback. And they already have to go back 10 yards.
I know. And then the guy gets sick with the eggs.
We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not there yet?
No.
I thought that was the first game.
No, because it is.
Oh, it is the first game.
But we're not there
You're
yet.
in the first quarter.
Yes.
You're in the
because then he.
You're breaking this down. Okay, we're breaking down. Go ahead.
Don't they get another penalty for something?
Yo, they get penalties galore. Like,
they had like 3 penalties before the game even started.
They were literally
the first like 5 minutes,
like,
2 minutes.
The
I
guy
think.
like caught the ball like in their like they were basically in their own end zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so bad.
Okay, but yeah. So before the game, they were in the locker room,
Right.
and he's like shoveling all these eggs, and I'm like, I'm about to puke. Like that's way too much in my mouth for you. Like,
I think the gross part is that as he puts one in,
he's like shoving another one.
He's grabbing another one and pushing the first one in with the second one.
I'm gonna throw up.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he's taking a third and fourth, and I'm going, where are those going? Is he just swallowing them? Like I.
Do you think first of all, hold on. Do you think that he never ate eggs again? And do you think that he just spit those right out after? I don't think I could swallow.
I thought it was just like he's eating 2, so he's having one, pushing one in. They say cut,
right,
and then they whatever. Okay, he spits it out, whatever, and then he's doing.
The whole other egg was in there.
Another egg in his mouth. So it's just one in his mouth and putting 2. So there's no more than 2 eggs in his mouth.
But I think they're still chewed up somewhere.
I don't know because I thought he
no.
spit
If
it
you
out, but
no,
it could
I don't
be.
think so.
It
I think
could
he
be.
still had
It
some
could
in
be.
there.
I don't know. All I know is that I was like, like, and now this guy's going to run around and play. I know that it's a movie, but just the fact that I was like, and of course, what happens?
Yeah. So then, what's his name?
Falco.
Okay.
You're talking about the quarterback?
Yeah.
It's Falco.
Shane I've been calling him Shane. Shane's like, raise your hand if you want to talk during this. So then,
because they're all talking,
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, what happens if I don't feel good? He's like, well, tell me before the huddle. And then they play or whatever, and then all of a sudden they call a huddle, and he's like, I don't feel good. And he was like, well, can it wait? We're in the middle of a huddle. And then he just like,
he gets sick.
Yeah, he gets sick.
Right,
and then another guy was like,
no.
Can we move the huddle?
Big lineman. Big 350
plus
big men going. This is the best. Oh, Shane, I can't see puke.
Right.
I can't say
can we move
man.
the huddle?
Can we move? And he's like, no, it's fine. Just don't look at it. And then the other goes like, no, I'm going to get sick. And then there's a whole moment where
I had to look away.
He gets sick. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, fine. And then they're all huddling together, shuffling to another part because they can't leave the huddle. Mm-hmm. And I love John Madden, which is the two guys in the booth, and saying, oh, it's the first thing they're doing together as a team.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that I can't even imagine.
Keep picking on his shoe.
I know. Move along. I know. Don't keep. See, you think about too much of it. You push it along. You kind of go, oh, that's gross. Move along.
All right. So then, they only had a time for one move.
Right.
So then, what's his nuts? The guy who's always smoking.
Yeah, Nigel. I love that accent.
From Wales, but like his accent lost like most of the time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he's actually British, but yeah, he is actually really British.
Right,
so,
but they say
he
he's
had
from
an
Wales.
Irish accent that kind of went in and out.
Yeah,
because it was like
horrible.
more British.
Yeah.
But he is British/Irish, and I'm always like, how can he lose his accent? Like,
right. It's like, what's going on here? I was waiting for them to call out the the accent.
I was just loving the things like, is he smoking? It's not even legal. And he's like,
but he doesn't get a penalty for it.
Nobody says anything except on the stage. Right. Is he smoking?
So the plan was to do, like, he's gonna call a hike and then he's gonna do a field goal.
Right. No, he does a field goal.
Yeah. So that was the plan. So like, but like obviously you don't tell the other team. So then he like does a field goal.
No,
like,
they knew he was going to kick a field goal. That's how football works. With field goals, you bring out the field goal. When the kicker comes out, everyone knows you're going to field goal. Oh. I know. That's how it works.
I don't watch football.
I know. I'm just telling you. They knew it.
Okay.
That's how it works. Go on. No,
so he makes the field goal. How far was it? Was it like 65 feet away?
Yeah, it's like, like it wasn't. It wasn't a lot. It was basic field goal. And
no, I thought it was the big one. Because the second one.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
Right.
I think it was 65.
Yeah, yards. I think you're right. Right. Then we have Bateman.
Bateman.
The guy who tackles. They're all excited for him, and then he comes out and gets tackled.
Yeah.
So what happens is he kicks the field goal. He's all excited. Now, the field goal guy, Nigel, he's very, very thin man. And Bateman, which is Happy from Iron Man, he gets so excited. He comes up and he tackles him. Yo, get that! He's like, ah! Then he starts chasing him. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
My God. This movie, I think it's because, like, I don't even know why. But, like, all those jokes were, like, not funny to me.
That's okay. That's okay. You know why it's not funny?
I think I was just so over it.
No, you're not. You don't find it funny because you haven't. See, I hate to be this way, and I hate to be this way. But I think it's a sexist type of thing because I've had friends like him who was so excited. We used to play basketball, and he used to come down with the ball, or I would do something. Oh, I remember. I got this one story I could tell. That's all I have, though. This is the only basketball story. I actually have two, and that's it. But I'm short. I'm only like 5'5" and a half, if I'm lucky, and so I always played with taller guys. So I always had to kind of really fight for things. And one day we were playing, and this poor guy, my buddy Rich, went to go shoot, and he jumped, and I just got beaten all day, and I jumped, and I put everything into this jump.
Yeah.
Well, I swatted him. And I've never swatted anyone before. No one swatted anyone after. It was the one time I got the ball and I hit that thing. And it hit like the very tip of my fingers, but I got it. And this guy was so excited, my buddy Keith. He comes running on the court, grabs me. Oh my God! And I'm like, we're trying to play basketball. And this guy screaming at me, he blocked you! He blocked you! Did you block him? Oh my! And he was so excited because he knew it was such a big moment for me. Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of these guys that are playing, I can kind of have that friend that was like that. So they weren't far-fetched to me. I think that's the difference. We've all had those guys. So, and for me, he was the two linemen, the two Jacksons, if you will, which is the two big black guys. I love them. They were the best. So, they lose their first game, but they didn't go without a thing. So, it's Marcelo, right? Isn't that the other quarterback that's actually the real NFL quarterback?
Oh,
Martell.
Yeah,
That's
Eddie
it.
Martell.
Eddie Martell. And
so Shane gets kicked off because he comes.
No, I'm not that far.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the part in when the best part when he goes and he says, "Oh, Falco, you parked in my parking place."
Oh.
So they flip over his car, and he's like, "Oh, come on, guys."
Mm-hmm.
And now, mind you, now Falco has just been talking to the girl that's the head cheerleader, but told
Annabelle.
that she doesn't date football players.
Yeah.
So he gets his car flipped over, and then things go good for him. She lands up meeting him at his boat, because that's what he does. He scrapes off barnacles. And she puts his yam stuff on his wild yam on his, because he's all bruised up from being tackled and beaten up. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I think this team's going to gel. And he's like, things are going to, like, I don't know. You just get that feeling.
Yeah.
And then, so the next day, Martell comes out and he's like, oh, Falco. He's like, oh, I didn't park in the same spot. No, but you parked in my buddy's spot or whatever. And he doesn't like that. And so they flip over the car, and the two black guys going, you need to fix that? And he goes, yeah, right. Takes out his gun, a gun.
Yeah.
And shoots Martell's Porsche like 4 times in the windshield. And he's like, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. And he shoots it again.
I love it. It's like, I'm a son of a bitch. I'm a son of a... Oh, bam! And I'm like, why would you talk like that? Like, in my head, I'm going, I am not talking like that to anyone who has a gun.
Right.
Who just shot my car.
Right.
That'd be a cold day. I'd call them.
Right, because now they're going to shoot me.
Yeah. And they're like pushing the car back over.
Yeah.
And then he's like, ooh, and then the black guys, Jackson and Jackson, that's it. What's that smell? And he goes, oh, wild yam. I like that smell. It was like the first bonding moment before the big fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get in a fight with NFL, remember? And then they all get put in jail.
Yeah.
And then they all do that dance.
Oh my God, I Will Survive.
I Will Survive. And it's a good moment because it brings them together.
Yeah.
And then...
But you didn't talk about how she gave him a ride home.
Oh, yeah, that was scary. I was going to keep that.
I've been in the car with somebody like that.
Yes. We've all been in cars like that. We're just like, And
you can't say anything.
I love how he's being nonchalant, too.
Right.
You can just tell. The grips.
He's like, I might die today.
The grips become like, he sits there, he's like, oh.
And the sides are out the car, too,
right?
Like
it's a Jeep. It's a proper
everything's off,
broken down Jeep. Like, surprisingly, she had a hood on the damn thing.
Right.
And he's like, yeah.
And she's just going on and on and on.
And she's like, can you believe this guy in the 1970s?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to die. He's going to die. And I was like, you laugh, but I have been in a car with many of people, and it always seems to be not all the time, because I know there's men that drive like that, but there's always some girl who seems to be talking and doing everything except paying attention. You're like, how about you not talk? How about you pay attention to the road? Because we're going 50, and it's like everyone else is going 5.
Yeah. Yep. This is how Kelsey drives, everyone.
I also love the fact that there's a moment where we all find out each player talks about what they didn't do.
What do you mean?
Like, the running back talks about Cochran I believe it was, that, he blew out his knee before he got to the big show, and he hurt his knee before he got to. All he wanted to do was get a touchdown. A rushing touchdown. Everybody had talked about how their dreams didn't come true. Like, that's all they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I hold on to that really tight. Because I feel like those are the moments that too many of us, when we get that second chance, are so afraid to blow it that we never do it. Instead of just doing it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's like the secret message in that, for me, is to see, because there's moments that I got like, oh yeah, I know how that feels, or to get there and then mess up and then go, what did you do? You should have just been more relaxed. Why did you make it such a big deal? Like, like go back and do it again, and you don't, because you get this, I don't know, like, don't get a chance. So, and at this point, he gets the team working all good, and everyone's going together, and then Martell crosses the line. And then the owner is a complete douche. And basically tells him, no, you're putting him. And now he crosses the line.
And the coach didn't want to put him in.
He wants Falco in because Falco has done all the work.
Yeah.
And
he's a team player.
He's a team player.
Yeah, and he puts his heart in there. He has a heart, is what he says.
Right. That's something that sports used to be. I mean, and I know I'm going to talk about this, and a lot of people are going to argue with me because they're all sports fans. I'm a sports fan. But I'm going to tell you, is a lot of people look up to LeBron James. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I know you're not a basketball player, but LeBron James is probably one of the best players to play NBA that I have watched in my life. The difference between LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, let's just say Shaquille O'Neal, let's just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that these guys didn't bounce around to win. Now, I know Shaquille O'Neal. He left the Lakers after he left the Magic to go to the Lakers. I know he left, but it wasn't to sit there to keep going. LeBron went from the Cavs to the Miami, back to the Cavs to LA. Like, whatever team looked like he could win, it seemed like he went there.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I'm not saying it is. It's just different. Because in my day, it was, hey, this is the card you got. I want a good team. You got to build around me or I'm not going to stay. And it just felt like for him, he just kept moving to where it was like, well, I want these players. I'll go here. I want this. I want to go here. I think that's what the difference between talking about heart.
Yeah.
That's what a heart is. Heart is staying in one place and saying, hey, we'll lose 20 years. I'll never win a championship. I'm here. I'm going to be the best I can be here. And I'm going to, my name and this will go down in history together. Like,
yeah.
I know things have changed. I know, well, Niles, I hate to tell you this, but NBA is not the same as 1990 and 1980 and I understand it's not the same. I understand the contracts are different. But I also feel like there's a lot of people out there who keep bouncing around for A, they want to be on a dream team, or B, they want lots of money. And if they get the B, they want lots of money, then they want to get traded to the team that has the dream team. And it's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't always work that way. And I think that's what this movie does, of saying that I'd rather have a bunch of nobodies who care, who want to win and do everything can, than superstars who just sit in the locker room and tell me, I don't feel like working today.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll work when we make it to the playoffs. No, you work every game. Yeah. You become better. Because if you can do A, that means you can do B. If you can do B, that means you can do C. And in my day of basketball play, I'm just going to say sports in general, used to be about winning, and then everyone would know your name because you've won 100 times. And then the money would take care of itself. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like everybody wants the big contract, but then turns around and says, "But I want to win too." Well, it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice if it does, but it doesn't always work that way.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of players that make a lot of money and never make it to the big dance.
Yeah.
You know, and this is my message, because this is one of the last movies that's like it's not an underdog. These guys aren't even supposed to be there. These guys are horrible. These guys didn't even make it to the, like, most of them made it to the big leagues and then dropped out. This is that one moment you meet someone really famous.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one moment. I don't know. Like, just think of the one thing. What's the one thing you love to do? Just name one thing you would love, like, that you've never done that you would love to do. I know.
Just put me on the spot like that. Jesus.
I love to go. I've been to London. I wish I could go back, or I wish I could go to Minnesota. I don't know why, but Minnesota is the place I know it's weird. I just have this thing. That's why I'm a Twins fan.
What's in Minnesota?
I don't know. See what happened.
What are you gonna do there?
I don't know. I feel like something good's gonna happen there. I'm gonna die there, one or the other. Because when I was in 6th grade, I had that same friend who was screaming at me and yelling at me like Happy was hey, you're a guy, you gotta pick sports teams. And I was like, I don't like sports. He's like, no, you gotta pick teams. Guys do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's remember what year it is too.
Yeah.
You know. And I was like, okay. So I came back and I said all the sports teams, because I said all the best teams. And he's like, no. You're not a bandwagon. You got to find teams that you like, and you got to tell me. I had to name him 5 players that weren't their best players.
Yeah.
So I kept looking in the paper, because that's how old I am. Like, you'd go through the sports section, and I'm trying to figure out what teams to do. And Minnesota at the time kept popping up because it was a good baseball team. And it wasn't a good baseball team at the time. And they kept talking about it, and I was like, no, and I closed it. And then I went out, and I was riding my bike, and something happened, and the car that was parked in front of me had a Minnesota plate on it. And it actually, for almost a week, I was telling my parents, and they're like, come on, Niles. And then they were like, oh my God, Niles. And I would go, look, and there'd be something with Minnesota or something like that. And then I started picking, like, I picked baseball. I picked hockey, and then I landed up picking basketball, but they had an expansion team later on in '89, so I was a little bit older. And it was just something that kept calling me every time I look at the paper. Minnesota, something. She goes, my mom goes, isn't that weird? Every time you look at something, there's something with Minnesota in it. And I go, yeah, I know. It's like something's beckoning me there.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that way, because I feel like something amazing's going to happen there, or it's my end. Like, it's the end of the chapter of my life. I don't know. It's really weird. But if you are with me long enough, like, if we're around, you're going to be, I'll show you, but like, look at that. And you'll be like, yeah, how do you, like, what? We're in Rhode Island. How is there Minnesota anything?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
If I cross the street, for some reason, there'll be a Minnesota license plate. Like, I'm always like, and if it wasn't for people that are with me, when I go, look, see, I'm not crazy, they'll go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's such a strong coincidence with me. So, this is what I'm talking about, being such an underdog team, that I just feel like this is one of those things where this is their one chance, their one thing, and I totally relate to this, because I have I was younger. I went to a big finals, which was the AHSA finals, which they're not there anymore. They're called something. They've renamed it.
Huh.
And I went down and I qualified, and it was super hard to qualify. And I was so excited to be there, and I got sick, and I had walking pneumonia, and I was on all these drugs, and I was determined to be there. And I got myself so scared and so nervous.
You backed out?
No, I was a disaster. I crashed. I burned. I fell off. The pole from the jump landed on my head. Like, I embarrassed myself to no end. And I knew I was a better rider than that. And I literally left that ring with my head down. And So I know a lot of people don't know this about me, but my parents brought me up where, you have good days, you have bad days. It's part of life. You suck it up. There's no crying because there's always tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I left that ring and I could feel all the emotions. And I kept being like, you're not going to cry because we're not that spoiled little brat in the horse show world that's going to cry. Because I knew many other people that did.
Yeah.
And I had a good friend, a really good friend, look at me and she goes, she said something like, you need it this time, where I always talk to her like, why cry? You're going to be here tomorrow. You're going to be fine. And she could tell. And she took me to a back part of the stables where, at the horse show.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's okay. It's just us. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cry again.
Yeah.
Because I was so devastated that I just didn't do a good job. Like, I had put so much pressure on myself. I blew it. Nobody else. Mm-hmm. I blew it. And it weighed on. I am 46. This happened when I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And it bothered me. And that's why this movie, some weird thing, is because I was like, well, if I had another chance, I get it. I get why it's so important. I think that's why certain movies can, like, why you don't like it and I like it, because it's a sports thing for me. Of something. It's not even the same sport. It's not.
I have a similar story to you. So I wanted to be drum major so bad.
Like your dad.
Yeah. My dad was drum major, and I
know that because I remember that.
So my family's always been part of band, whatever. And before I was even in band, I would help with uniforms. I was like the freaking uniform police, People knew me, stand up, you're not sitting on the floor with that. Get up, make sure you have your shoes. If you don't have your shoes, you have to go get new shoes, wear the socks right, put your hair back.
Are you in high school or
not
are you
yet.
still in middle school? Okay.
Still in middle school.
You're still in middle school.
And then when I was in high school, it was 10 times worse.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we were getting new uniforms, and so, we were checking the other ones out, and I was helping, getting...
Wait a minute. I do want to make a little fact here.
Yes.
In Portsmouth, your father was the very first person to have new uniforms and had to wear them and showed, I believe, the school council or something like that. I remember this. I remember him telling me, and then we got all these new uniforms. And now...
And then Ashley was the same thing.
Oh, was it Ashley? Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you was you. All right.
No, well, I was saying we as in collective group.
Okay. So it happened to Ashley.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, her senior year.
What's the odds of the same family line that happened to? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want to...
No, it's okay.
It's a...
So they're getting rid of the old ones, and I was helping because, I had to be there. Anyway, so I was like, may as well do something. And so I put on a drum major uniform because I want to be drum major so bad, whatever. And then it came time to trying out, and I was sick. I was I went to school because I needed to be drum major.
Right.
And, you have to do a marching thing, you have to conduct, you have to tell, they pull you aside and say, they do interviews, right. And I think something else too.
Wow. I don't remember your dad going through that, but I don't really...
It could have been a different process back then.
Never even asked.
And I remember, wanting it so bad, and I was so sick that, I couldn't even, find the beat in the song.
I didn't think he was the only one who played the drums in my day, because I don't remember anyone else. Because I remember him first hitting the big bass drum, and then all of a sudden him getting... It looked like a brand new drum set. Not drum set, what do you call it? The drum block. The drum
the quints, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Quints, where there's 5 drums.
Yeah. I think he was the very first one in Portsmouth to have that. I think. I'm sure your dad will tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was no one was drums. And all of a sudden I was like, boom, your dad was playing drums. And I was like, when did we get drums? I thought we just had the big, boom, boom bass one. Go ahead.
A boom, boom bass.
Yeah.
So, my marching was probably the best thing I did.
Right.
And my interview was pretty good. But, at least I think. But, because I spoke with my heart.
Right.
And, when it came down to conducting to a song, you had to pick a song and then they'd give you a song.
Right.
So I worked with my friend and we did Kung Fu Fighting for the song.
Oh, nice.
But it was the marching version.
Yeah.
I cannot listen to that song anymore because it just brings me down.
So
I did my song pretty okay. Like, it was okay. But then they gave me a different song to do, and I couldn't find the beat at all because I was so, like, I worked myself up. Right. I didn't feel good.
Right.
And, like, I was, like, a hot fucking mess.
Right.
And, like, I remember seeing one of the judges go like this when I was trying to conduct. Like, oh, my God, like, what's happening?
Right.
And, you know, and that's when I, like, blacked out. Like, then, you know,
like you just...
I'm like, I know I'm done.
Like you're autopilot. You're like, I'm done.
Yeah. And then, so it came to the interviews, like, why do you want to be here? Right. Why do you think you're qualified? Blah, blah, blah. And then they pull you aside one by one. And then they, like, bring you all back together. And, like, the people are this person and this person. We had 2 at the time. Because we have 3 drum majors. One was a senior already. Or junior going to senior. So then we would need 2 more. Right. Or whatever. So... it was those 2 people, and I'm listening, and, like, you know in the movie where, like, they don't call your name, and, like, everything, like, the sound goes out, and, like, you're just, like, trying not to cry.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, so then they call it, and I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to be a good sport, and then I walk out of that room and bawl my eyes out, and, like, I bawled my eyes out for probably a good week. And then, like, my dad came, and he didn't know what to say to me, and I'm gonna fucking cry again. And he's like, it's okay. And, like, he brought me home, and I was allowed to cry about it all night. And then the next day, I was in Portuguese class, but we were going to the computer room. And my band director happened to be walking the hallway at the same time I was going to the thing. And I, like, looked at him and looked away right away. Yeah. And then he, like, pulled me aside, and he was like... try to, like, give me a pep talk or whatever. He's like, do you hate me? And I was like, no. And he was like, do you understand why we picked him? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're allowed to be sad. And I kept this in my brain for about everything. And he's like, you can be sad about it now, but at the end of the day, like, tomorrow or whatever, like, you have to, like, move on. Yeah,
I know. I kept mine way too long. Like, I kept that in my heart way too long. Like, I actually had people, like, probably more my parents of, like, nah, you gotta let it go. And there's sometimes, like, I'll think about it and I'll just be like, yeah, but I did it. Like, I went, I did it. I look like an idiot or whatever, but I did it. Mm-hmm. What happened if I had chickened out and got off? What happened if I said I was too sick and I didn't go?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, there's
I felt the same way. Because I even told my band director, I was like, I'm so sick, but I'm still going to be there because, like, I want this really bad.
Right. And it's just one of those things that you know what? We were both in a non-win situation. Mm-hmm. And yet, instead of looking at it, like, we were both in a like, there was no way we were going to win. Mm-hmm. At least for me, I had so much codeine in me that I was like, I don't even know.
You're a different planet.
I was like, yeah. And the worst thing is, it's one of the only videos my parents videoed, like,
really?
So it's me. I'm going, I watch it now going, please, God.
Right. Erase this tape.
Please. This is,
Do I die in this?
I wished, oh my God, every day when my parents would put this on. Now, do you want to watch this? I'd be like,
no.
My heart would sink.
Yeah.
And there's, I don't even know, 10 years ago, I don't even know when it was, I made myself watch it again.
Yeah.
And I could feel the emotion, like, I was, like, right back to it again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, gotta let this go, man. This is such eating your life.
Yeah.
Like, you were one of the 150 kids that got here. Why are you ashamed? Like, you were drugged up that day. Mm-hmm. Like, you were, like, you don't try, like, for me, I don't like making excuses.
Yeah.
I did it, I failed, and then there's another video, which I know I have on my Facebook, but it has me riding at a finals a week later. Mm-hmm. And I'm amazing.
Yeah.
But that week was not my week.
Yeah.
But I remember, because the only thing I remember is when I won't say her name, but this girl had grabbed me and said, come on, because she was the one who always seemed to get really mad and cried after. Mm-hmm. And now it was reversed, and she told me her first story about her first time going, and it was way worse than mine, but I couldn't hear it. Mm-hmm. Like, I think about it now and I hear it, but at that time, like, it was like womp 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 womp, and then, like, a week later like the words kind of went into my head and went, oh, she said that.
Yeah.
But when she was talking to me at that moment, no way. And these
guys, that's how I felt about my director when he's like, you can be sad, but like get over it.
Just like you're not.
But he said it in such a nicer way.
Right,
But it was like, it's like, well, I'm gonna be sad for a very long time, And then like it hit me like I got over it,
Yeah, I mean
I'm still like if I could go back, I would.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like if you could just go back and be you, but not you that day, and be you a week before, a week after, and just be at 100%, even if you didn't make it.
Right. At least I gave it
more of a chance. And that's what this movie's about. That's the bigger message out of that whole thing. Yeah. Even down to when Martel says no way, they tie him up in the room, and then they come out with Falco at the second half. And I love it when what's his name is like, oh, there's no tomorrow for them. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Like they win that game for them. Mm-hmm. That was their Super Bowl. Yeah. That's the little things that, weird. I'm really going to put 1 + 1 together, and you're going to think I'm crazy. But did you ever watch Mr. Rogers at all? Mm-hmm. Remember how Mr. Rogers always said you're special, and then there was a period of time where people were like, see, this is what you're telling every kid they're special. It's not about them being special. Everyone has their moment.
Yeah.
That's the trick. It's like we all have our moments to shine. And there's moments that we shine like, oh, listen, I have heard stories right here that you have shined like a bulb, like a sun. When you'll tell a story and you're like, wow, you're really good at, I could never do that. Yeah. And I have a story where I have quite a few stories where I shine like a sun. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, we're stupid, and I say all of us, because we're talking both of our stories in one time. Mm-hmm. And if you take all of our other stories, let's just say there's 10 each of us, but we're all worried about that one.
Yeah.
And we lose focus on the 10. Mm-hmm. And I used to have an old man who's telling me making decision, sometimes you're a genius and sometimes you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. And I go, well, I don't want to be an idiot. He's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Right. Sometimes you'll make a decision that's perfect at that time, but 10 years from now, you're an idiot. Why did you choose that? Because at that time, it looked perfect. Mm-hmm. Even the best people do that.
Yeah.
And we get so hooked on. And this is what comes from this. That's why I loved it. I'm sorry you didn't like the movie. But that's actually good that you didn't like the movie. Because I feel like a lot of these movies, I didn't like Avatar. So, I mean, that's the part of it. The different angle. But yet I watched it again. And there was a piece of me go, hey, you know what? This is really pretty. This is... And maybe...
I really like the message behind this movie. And I like the characters and stuff. But it's just
it's just kind of a...
The execution in it.
I think... like everything else, and when we're watching these, because we're not watching what I call mega movies. We're trying to watch all the
underdogs,
underdog movies. Yeah. You're right, like those hour and a half to 2 hour cheesy movies that you would that you on a Sunday catch on TV and you'd go, oh, what's this? And then you would watch this.
Yeah.
Funny, light, simple, no brains type of movie. Mm-hmm. But those are the movies that they're going to get predictable because we're going to watch because it's the same formula.
Yeah.
But that's why when you watch them, you try to take out, say, okay, what was good about this movie? What's bad about this movie? Mm-hmm. Why did I like Police Academy, who was basically moments of funny to this movie?
Yeah.
And I got a list. But I knew this was getting off of Netflix, so I wanted to do this one. But I have a bunch of old '80s that I need to search through Hulu to see if they have.
You need to watch the Austin Powers movies too.
Oh, I love those movies. Oh, you can never do wrong. Oh.
I haven't seen them yet.
You haven't seen any of them yet?
I'm holding out for you, bestie.
Oh my God.
Are they still on Netflix, or they take those off?
I don't. Probably the way they go with Netflix. I feel like everything's getting off.
We'll find them somewhere. Even if we have to wait for them to come back on.
Oh my gosh. Actually, believe it or not, speaking of Austin Powers, that's one of our jokes that we do on the on our live is from Austin Powers.
Well, remind me to give you your stuff.
Okay. And so
I had to say that out loud for me.
Okay.
I got the stuff. Yeah. Don't tell my mom. Sorry, Grandma. Sorry, Grandma. Part 3.
So I mean, again, you didn't like this movie. That's fine. But this is a light movie. This is something that was pretty simple. Has a good message. I found it had some really funny parts in it. I mean, me personally, did I think the whole movie was funny? No. Did I think it was a light movie?
I wouldn't consider this a comedy.
It
was.
Comedy. It is
know.
Considered, but.
And there's a lot of movies out there that are comedies, or
they're
this, or they're this, but I don't.
But
see
I didn't
them
think
that
it was
way,
a date movie, like a chick flick movie. I didn't
No.
consider it like a cheesy. You know how they have that?
No.
Was it like the chick flick kind of comedy?
Romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And I just got. I don't.
Rom-com.
Rom-com. Yeah, I don't feel like it's that.
Yeah.
But I think it was just enough where it's a good message, and you root for them at the end.
Yeah.
Like you want them to win.
Yeah.
You want these guys to have their moment in the sun, even if it's just that one game, and they all walk away with their heads put up high. And I feel like that was a good message of saying you don't need to be in Super Bowl to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sometimes just those little victories are bigger than anything else. At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I think it's a cute movie.
Yeah,
it was cute.
It's a cute movie.
Yeah. It's not. No. It's one that, like you said, if Sunday and it's on.
If it's on TV,
it's a good background
noise.
noise.
And you catch that one spot where you go, oh yeah, I love this spot, and
then you can turn it off.
Do whatever, type of thing. That's from me though. I mean, different people might watch it and go, it stinks, you know.
Yeah.
The trick is that that's how it's supposed to be. Like not all movies, but we're trying to do a lot of light movies because that's simple and that's fun to watch. And I think everyone tries to do the big movie.
It's not like 8 hours long.
I feel like everyone nowadays does podcasts about 8-hour movies or 3-hour movies. Like it's an hour and a half. Yeah, like it or not, it was an hour and a half. It really wasn't that long. Like by the time you probably were like, it probably was almost over, and you're like, oh, I'm almost over. I got half an hour, or like she's like, nope, 5 minutes into it. I was like, shoot me. And
well, actually, I think I had like an hour left. I'm like, okay, well, I got an hour left.
Yeah.
But.
And there may be some gems in that hour that you're like, it got me through it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So tell us what you think. I don't even. You gotta pick the next one. So I will let her decide, and we'll see. I'd like to thank the Goofy Geek Boutique for sponsoring us. I'd like to say we're on Tuesdays on YouTube.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell. Tell us what you want us to watch.
Oh, come
what do you
on,
want
guys.
us to do?
Write something, hate us. I mean, we have...
Fucking put a thumbs down if you want. I don't care. Do something.
We have 46 of you lost one.
We did?
Yeah, they got smart. They're like, yeah, we're out.
Peace.
It was me. I was actually... I'm sick of these people.
The Goofy Geek. Unsubscribed.
I was like, I'm sick of them. Especially that guy with the hat. I'm sick of him. I'm out. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye. Hi, friends.
What's up, Goofer Geekers?
How are you? How was your week?
I'm good. I got through my week. You?
Same.
I just got through it. This heat's killing me.